Hey everybody, I'm sticking with the live Mondays with Mike rather than the pre-recorded. I kind of like the feel of it better. Plus, my kids are still home for break, so it's a little easier for me to pop outside and just talk to you guys out here rather than having the screams inside. That's going to end next week. This is our last Mondays with Mike of the, not official summer, but I guess what you might think of as summer vacation. And my topic is kind of driven by that. Part of it, I'm not going to lie, is that MLS hasn't updated the housing data for August yet. I think they still have June on there. So I did want to get you guys a market update. And I was thinking, because we have a change of the seasons that's going to be coming up now, it's important to look at months supply. You can see I need a little bit of a trim on the hedges here. But we're always looking at how many months supply are on the market, right? That's how somebody who's technically driven, which your realtor should be if they're advising you, is looking at whether it's a buyer or seller market. If you've got about 4 months to 5 months supply, that's pretty balanced. Under 4 months, that's a seller's market. If you're over 5 months, I would say, you're probably in a buyer's market, whether sellers are recognizing it or not. I don't want to walk into the sun, so I'm going to just kind of pace back and forth out here. And you don't have to know the math. If you don't have a realtor, I guess you do. But it's very simple math. When I say 4 months or 5 months supply, I mean if everybody stopped listing houses now and we had to wait for everything that's on the market to close, how many months would that current inventory take to close out? And if you really look area by area and you don't get hung up on the national news or the regional news, which are just, it's an aggregate of everything. If you look at our multiple listing service alone, I mean, it covers Queens, Nassau, Suffolk, parts of Brooklyn. That's a huge swath of housing. Geographically, it's many, many people and all the different decisions that those people are making, which really factors in with residential real estate. So what are the differences? Are there big differences from region to region? So I thought I would stick with just Nassau. I'm walking around in Belmore now, so we'll start with that. Belmore right now, let's see, there's 4.9 months supply in Belmore. So I would call that a pretty textbook balanced market. And if you're sitting in Belmore thinking about listing and you read the national news, you might say, man, I'm gonna get whatever I want for my house still, because it's still a crazy seller's market. Well, the NAR statistics or what you read in the Wall Street Journal, that's, they're talking about nationwide. And that's an even bigger category. But even if you keep it to Newsday or a more local source, you really have to drill down area to area. Because if we go across the county, I'm going to pick New Hyde Park just because it's on the border of Queens and it's kind of the opposite end. It's a different township, town of Hempstead versus North Hempstead. I see 6.6 months supply. It's getting into buyer market territory. If you want to stay in the same township but same side of the county, Elmont, 8.4 months supply. That's most definitely a buyer's market. And what's really stark is when you look even just next door, and I'm just picking this zip code. I'm going by zip codes, by the way, because the hamlets, they kind of mishmash and school districts intersect. So I'm just sticking to zip codes and speaking generally about the towns. But if we just go next door to Wantagh, which is probably the closest hamlet to where I am right now for comparison, 4.2 months supply. So you might say, all right, 4.2 versus 4.9, not that different. Well, if you're talking about the difference between a seller's market and a balanced market and what that's going to do for your pricing strategy, that is a pretty big difference. And I think it's just important. I'm not going to, make this go too long, especially because I'm just pacing back and forth right now and the sun is finding me through the trees. Make sure you're really focused on the local data, because the news that you read, it's headline driven, and it's a lot of it is national coverage. You really need to know, or you need to get with someone who knows exactly what's going on in your specific area, not even your county, your town, your hamlet, where you are specifically, and it's changing all the time. So you need somebody who's focused on it. Happy to answer any questions about that. And I may do this from now on, because just giving, the top line numbers for the county or the region, or God forbid the nation, it's just not that helpful to people. And it kind of just contributes to what can sometimes be a little bit of a false narrative. If you're looking to sell or you're looking to buy, you should know what really is going on in your neighborhood, not just generally what's going on in the nation. You know, everybody's not sharing the benefits of their collective home sales with each other. This is your competition who you're selling, down the block from. All right, so we're gonna leave it there. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of the summer. I don't know if I'll pop on Labor Day, but if I don't, I'll see you in the new school year. Hope everybody